There were so many moments that I could have collapsed. So many moments where it would have been made complete sense to stop what I'm doing. And if I had none of what I have created, the nearly $1 million in cash in my business over these years, what I've created would not be here. The number of lives that I've helped to change and helped to shift, the number of families that my work has brought together, the number of partnerships that were created. I think of the ripple effect of my work, and there's so many things that wouldn't have happened if I would have quit. You see, I've seen women rise faster than me. I've seen women who had the visibility, they had the audience, they had everything moving in their favor, and they're gone. They left. And it's not because they weren't talented. It's not because they didn't have the right strategy, because most of them did. It's because they never built the capacity and the resilience to hold it. And this is what most women don't understand about success. It really isn't about how high you rise. It's not. It's not. It's not. Before I tell you what it's not about how high you rise, how much money you make, how many people in your audience. It's not about that. It truly is about whether you have the foundation to keep standing when things get hard. I've watched people make millions much faster than me and disappear. I've watched women go viral, like blow up, get all the opportunities, have all the algorithm in their favor, and they completely fade away. And it is, they didn't have these three things that I am going to share with you that has kept me in the game. The algorithm didn't stop me. The industry didn't stop me. And pressure didn't stop me. But, if I had let external circumstances dictate how I showed up, I wouldn't be here either. I had a launch, and there were, well, not a launch. I had many launches where no one showed up. When I first started getting on TikTok, the algorithm would only show my videos to people who look like me, and that's it. When I did searches, it would fill out my searches with, like, for example, if I was talking about manifestation, it'd be like manifestation, and it would automatically fill it out with for Black girls. I never searched for that before, but because of how I look, they decided that that's what I should be looking for. I've had master classes where no one was there and I was talking to myself. And I watched people who weren't an inkling of as good as I was blow up financially when I was grinding, when I was paying, like filing for bankruptcy, when I literally thought, like could have thought that I wasn't good enough. And I could have gotten the permission to stop. Yeah. I could have let like the lack of traction stop me, unfairness in the system stop me, other women stop me, but I didn't. And before I give you the 3 ways, the warning signs that I decided to go the other way, right? Instead of leaning into, I'm going to tell you what it looks like to collapse. And you don't always realize that you're collapsing or that you're stopping or that you're caving into the pressure until after you've done it. And it always starts in ways that feel really small. And every time that you pull back, you're reinforcing the belief that you can't hold it, when the truth is you wouldn't have this vision, you wouldn't have this belief if it wasn't inevitable for you, which means that you were fully capable of it. And so what the beginning stages of collapsing can look like is scaling back your vision because you're trying to make it realistic. If you've done that, message in the comments. It's okay. We can always bring it back to the big vision that you had when you first started. Also, another thing is changing plans. So changing your plan because you didn't receive the immediate external validation, like the validation didn't come fast enough. Changing your launch because you're like, oh, you know what? No one liked it. No one liked my comment. I didn't get as many people in my DM, so I'm going to stop. And it also comes when you're looking, like not staying in your own lane, not focused on your where you're going. And when you start looking over, right, at other people, and you start comparing yourself, because what comparison is the thief of all joy, and you start watching other people and you're like, why isn't it happening for me? Instead of looking at the ways it is happening for you and championing that. It all starts with small decisions that could seem really harmless, but they add up. looking at other people, changing your launch here, reducing the size of your vision. All of those things are what happens when you start to give your power away. And so here are 3 warning signs, right? 3 warning signs of collapse. Number 1, you start looking for a way out. You start thinking that I'm going to take a break. My nervous system wants to relax, which isn't true. I need to realign. You look for reasons to pause, excuses. If you're starting to do this, stop, because it's allowing you to keep going in that direction and not create what you've been put on this earth to create. Okay, so that's number 1, looking for a way out. Number 2 is you start making the pressure mean something that it absolutely doesn't. Nothing means anything except the meaning that you apply to it. So the meaning you're applying to it is not supporting you. And if you're applying a meaning that doesn't support you, then it's the wrong meaning. And so let's say you're feeling pressure and then all of a sudden, like, your content isn't hitting as hard. So you say that people don't care. Totally not the case. They might have just changed a little bit of the algorithm. And when you remember that God is your algorithm and you are God and God is within you and you are divinity, it doesn't matter, because the universe sends the people your way and they don't even need to be involved in the algorithm. Okay, but let's say your launch isn't exactly the way you want to and it's not moving as fast. So all of a sudden you think, my offer isn't working. I need to scrap everything and burn everything down. Or let's say you just wake up and you're tired. Yeah, you're tired. Maybe you stayed up late last night. Maybe you were Netflixing and chilling a little too long. Whatever. You wake up tired. So then you second guess the moves that you know you're meant to make today. So all of that, you're like, oh, I'm too much pressure. Oh, I need to take a break. I'm tired. The break and the tired and the resistance or whatever you're feeling might have nothing to do with the work. And so you, 1, start looking for a way out. Number 2, you start making pressure mean something that it really doesn't. And number 3, you start tapping into the belief that this isn't meant for you. You start believing the lie. You start giving more thoughts to maybe this isn't meant for me than the thoughts of, I decided that I wanted to do this. I have a desire and my desires are inevitable. So you're believing in your doubts more than you believe in your vision. And this is when you have to catch it. And so you are being called to hold power, not collapse into it. And the reason why I'm still here and other people aren't here after all of these years is because when I got the tightness in my chest, instead of thinking that the world is collapsing on me, I breathe. I do my somatics, deep breaths, thymus tapping, rolling my shoulders, and I remind myself of the truth. The weight of responsibility is not going to disappear. You just need to hold it differently. And remember that you're not holding it on your own. Yes, you are divine. Yes, you are the divine diva. Yes, you are divinity, but you're not by yourself. There is God within you and all around you. And there's higher beings of light, right? High beings of light that are holding this with you. You're not by yourself. And this is where resilience really, really plays a big role. To be the CEO and the founder and the creator of the mission or the vision or the company or whatever, your entertainment industry or whatever, to make the mark that you know you're here to make, to anchor in the light that you know you're here to anchor, you have to have resilience. You have to have a high AQ. And what is that? Adaptability intelligence. You need to be adaptable. And to be adaptable means you're resilient. And this is why I created God Frequency Decoded. It is your initiation into fem power play. This is not the feminine energy of like, oh, love and light, and we're just floating on clouds. This is power and how to hold power and how to be resilient and how to not fall into the fragility factor that has been ingrained into your cells to feel like you can't handle it. And if it gets hard, run. This is helping you have staying power like never before. And I cannot wait. So if you're ready, join us.